side. Deshaun Bishop is the back. They'll rotate them. A nice high.
They could come in, especially at this position.
Second and short handoff. Bishop.
Pass.
Play fake. Zipped across the middle. Caught by Kitzelman.
He didn't face this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in practice.
On the move. Check down. And it's Brazel.
Moy and Pendleton.
Deep drop. Fires downfield. Accurate throw.
Page.
Bishop barrels up the middle.
Against Georgia. They can't settle for field goals. They need touchdowns.
Crossing route. Catch made. Staley out of 5 for 5. This time it's a keeper. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's rocking already. Look at it. Press the ball in the very first play. Nice ball downfield. And the catch is made.
Young, great way to start for the Dogs.
He was 1 of 7 on deep shots before that completion. Stockton kind of stumbles as for Georgia last year, but very effective weapon. Stockton pulls it and
just talked about Colby Young, Frazier to run the football, Tillander and Redmond on the other side.
And there goes 2 elite corners out of the lineup for the Volunteers. Serious concern. Stockton looking to run, has blockers off the right side, and 225-pounder Chauncey Bowen to the right of Stockton now. Stockton keeps it, eludes a man, and scores standing up. It's a run to Bishop. The offensive line looks good, even though it's been reshuffled a bit. And streaking downfield is Brazel, who makes the catch and runs to the end zone. Flag down.
Pass interference. Defense number 1. Penalty declined. Touchdown.
Right now defensively, they've loaded the box against this run game. They're playing man-to-man. Safety gets downhill, so it's one-on-one on the outside. And against this offense, that's the reality. If you're going to put the numbers towards the run game, you're going to leave yourself one-on-one on islands. And that's Ellis Robinson, a 5-star from a year ago. He's a redshirt freshman. Gets beat, has the interference, and what a job by Brazel keeping his feet.
Second straight game that Brazel's had an early touchdown. The guy who came from Tulane. And off on the right side, that's Dwight.
Graduate a couple portal guys, so got some young talented players.
Stockton.
In the underneath coverage at linebacker, that ball went right through his hands.
Third down snap, ball knocked loose and falls to the ground.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 11 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Third down and 3. Empty backfield. Pressure is picked up. Stockton, back shoulder throws incomplete.
Downfield, that's a one-on-one matchup. Back shoulder fade, timing pretty good. Humphreys just a little bit late reacting, just off.
For the SEC championship game, second game back, still getting his form back, but he is an elite punter when he's got that. Boot cards. Looks like they're doing that right here in the first play. Tennessee's going to run it to Star Thomas, part of that.
With 2 high safeties again, is if your defensive line can win the battle up front in the run game.
Aguilar on the move, flips it short. Mike Matthews, their best cover guy. First down pass again.
Matthews, Braylon Staley, the 2 front runners, along with Brazel, who's back from a year ago.
For the first time, Aguilar is pressure, but he just abounds, so it gave Georgia a chance to catch their breath and bring on fresh troops up front for this first down play. There's a slant, complete.
6 days a week trying to work with the coaches in the building.
Fast track preparation for sure. Did a great job dressing this defense.
Intentional grounding, number 6, is accepted. So lost it down at the spot of the foul. Third down.
Dogs drop and play coverage. And incomplete on the far sideline in Tennessee. You're under constant
Pass
pressure.
interference. Defense number 1. It's a spot foul with an automatic first down.
Play fake. Again, zipped and Staley makes the catch. And
Can catch the ball and have a chance to run with it.
starts. Thomas from 1 year now, Tennessee. Pitch on the edge, Staley again.
Answers to those safeties sitting back.
Across the middle, Kitzelman. Tynan, one of the alpha leaders of this Tennessee team. First down, play fake, end zone, touchdown! Perfect strike, Chris Brazzell.
Jay Bolton, who's a great player, all-conference, maybe all-American caliber player, just got lost with his eyes in the backfield and with the receivers crossing in front of him, and he completely misses to get back and support the corner. Anybody else, just the execution of it, the way they're firing on all cylinders.
Branch at the goal line. Jeff. Plenty of time on the clock. Cray again makes a cut. Handed off inside McCray.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Fake it to him. Stockton took a quick peek and then behind the sticks now, 2nd and 12. Pressure again. Stockton flushed and just throws it away. It's a committee, isn't it? Swing pass to Cash Jones.
Go for it.
Play clock at 2. They're going to run a play, and they get it. Slant. Branch has already become a trusted target for Stockton. Their first down throw, zip. And touchdown drives for the Volunteers. Georgia trying to stay close here. 21-7 after 15 in Knoxville. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
That's 7 guys walked up. Who's coming? Who's dropping? They're all coming.
Ball quickly to the perimeter. Branch has a crease. Zach Branch in a front race. They won't catch him. Georgia on a 3rd and long strikes for 6.
Allowed him to really turn on the gas. We've known his ability as a returner. Here he shows you what he can do with his ball in his hands as a receiver. What a great job by Georgia responding there.
Yeah, you're right, Kirk. 2 good blocks, and then Turnside takes 1 bad angle. Fake to Peyton Lewis. Aguilar on the move across the middle, and
Did a nice job of coming up to make that contact. What focus there to initially catch the football, but
to recollect it after the hip, and it kind of squirted out of his hands. Lewis on a 2nd down run. Put it back in high tempo. Pressure. Aguilar avoided.
Tennessee hurries. They see him trying to substitute and look at the
Illegal
top.
substitution defense.
They don't do it. They aren't quite able to get off the
5-yard
field.
penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
First down from the 36. It's Lewis in the flat and couldn't.
On a 3rd down via a penalty.
It's a 2nd down run.
This is a play by Mike Matthews. His helmet comes off, so even if he didn't want to come off the field, to continue to go.
Aguilar incomplete.
Just a ball, one of his few passes that has not been perfectly on target, a little bit behind.
And he rolls to his right with some pressure there, gets it away. And Branch doesn't play it. Is he going to get to the end zone? They sprint down and bat it back short of the goal line.
And nobody touched him at the line of scrimmage. It was a full sprint, and he's rewarded for that effort by just an amazing play here by the long snapper to pin the Dogs deep.
Long snappers around the world say we're athletes too.
No doubt.
Stockton in the end zone along with Bowens, who's got it, and he bursts her you get injured. An ankle and an MCL in there now, playing through some pain, and the Dogs. Branch went in motion and has some space after he makes the catch.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 8, offense.
Effort play, he's downfield right there in front, picking up a block, trying to help. The only thing is he just kept working 5 yards.
Bubble screen. Young kind of Stockton running. Ball sniffed it out. Depth there in his absence. Thorson delivered a strong punt his first time. This one's also pretty good. And it's muffed at the other end. He tries to get the drive going. And this is
balls resulted in touchdowns. Last drive, first punt of the game.
Aguilar, after 3 straight incompletions. Aguilar
In and really has taken off in camp this year. You can see it.
2nd and 14, deflected. Flag is
man.
Offside.
Yeah.
Defense number 90.
On 2nd down. Pressure comes, picked up, complete across the middle.
He goes for it, so they're going to get the football back regardless.
That's a good point. Josh Heupel electing to play field. Chauncey Bowen, guys like Spagnola, Andy Reid, Dirk Cutter.
Yeah.
Stockton on the move into traffic. It's broken up. Looks like he may have mistimed it.
Yeah.
Holding, defense is declined. Pass interference, defense is accepted. It's a spot foul, automatic first down.
Branch reverses back, knocked down.
Get more comfortable in the pocket, but he's just not there at this point. Consistently, anyway.
Handoff. Pressure comes. Stockton has time and loops it down the field.
3rd down play.
They had to cover Noah Thomas, the big
Pass interference,
6'5" receiver.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Bowens bounces it. Chauncey Bowens gets to the end. Got it again. Oh, he stutter stepped.
That he bounced it, came up short.
225-pounder keeps his son Drew as the center after a solid start in his junior season. Dodging the rush, and finally.
Good effort after the catch it once again there by a Bulldog.
And hit as he throws, gets the ball loose. It's Oscar Doe who tried to hurdle him, and it
hits him, but a heck of a job of recognizing that receiver to get that ball out.
Tempo from the Dogs, Frazier. Bowens again, bouncing off people. He's Frazier. Oh. McCray is the back. They fake it to him, and Stockton is swarmed. They've used one. Sorry, didn't see it. 3rd down coming up. On the move, Stockton. Knocked down short of the.
Now 21-17, get the ball again to start the 2nd half.
Aguilar across the middle, it's incomplete. Incompletion to start, much more methodical since that torrid first quarter. Star Thomas spins in the. Aguilar backpedals and takes a shot downfield. Matthews on the edge. Dylan Bell, there's a block. Slant. Ready, clock moving again. Here comes pressure. Stockton rolls to his right, Flag is out. He almost threw an interception. Corner has been a focal point. Came diving in and it bounced off of him.
Offense number 71.
Ernest
10-yard
Green, the
penalty.
right tackle
First
there.
down.
Jones slips through range. Clean pocket. Launches for the far sideline. Jump ball. And it's intercepted. There's a flag down. It's Colton.
Pushing him. In fact, pushes him out of bounds.
Holding. Defense number 8.
Far right here. Pushes him, pulling on him. Yeah, it's an easy call there by the official.
One thing, it was a long play. It took a lot of time before you get the ball out. Quick throw, incomplete. Lisi comes in cold, tries to create some magic in the final play of this first half. Steps up, waits for his guys to get downfield, and slings it on the run down near the goal line, and it's going to be intercepted. Volunteers pick it off, and that is Ty Redmond. Final play of the first half. 21-17, home team at halftime. To the studio, Kevin Nagandi and Booker McFarland. Guys?
Chris, the aggressive attacking team we were in those first 3 series when they were able to put up 21 points in the first quarter.
Junior to the left of Stockton. He's got the football, and he accelerates. Not in the second half of these games with the running game. They'll pound it again with Frazier, and that's
for that.
Dylan Bellamy end around, ran in. The Georgia doesn't get rattled easily. Stockton from the pocket flips it to Chauncey Bowens, and Cass Jones goes in motion. Stockton running all the way. They don't spy him. Stockton found a crease time. Frazier follows his blockers around the edge, and Frazier matched it. Bowen right up the middle. They got him. Powerful drive. It's Phillips who takes a turn. And he turns deep set. Stockton under center, flips it to him. Frazier, no blocker out there.
Get her with that speed going the other way.
Some tempo in 3rd and 1. Frazier again. It's going to be first. He's got it. Power. McCray.
Look, trips into the boundary. Probably run right.
McCray. Muscles. No single. Touchdown. Georgia. That tempo teams, the first play or 2 of a drive, very important. And Aguilar checks it down, and it's going to have to throw them out there quickly.
Holding. Offense number 56.
1st and 20. Hand it off. Bishop.
This place, right, they need something to get them back. I'm talking about get the crowd back. They feel like they've already been beaten.
Aguilar, 2nd and 12 left. And Aguilar.
They're just drive that's out of rhythm for Tennessee.
Punt, Ross. And it's picked up. He played as a freshman. I don't know if he lost to him, but he Bowens. That last drive left. Bell motions over. Stockton rolls that way and finds far side income. Leg the Aussie has. This effortless swing of that leg. This one is not that deep. Carter comes up and did what they needed. Now can the Tennessee offense get going here? In the flat, catch made by Staley.
Well, they put those 3 touchdowns up.
Aguilar across the middle, inaccurate third today. Intercepted. Threw it right to KJ Bolden.
Gets behind the tight end, but when he gets to the top of the route, he loses his footing. See the communication.
Pitch to the far side. Branch not going to get finalists for the Groza Award. Chip shot earlier. This from 48 to make it a 6-point lead. And drives it right through. First down run. Got it again. Nowhere to run. That
Did there on second down.
Need 4. From the pocket. Sideline pitch. Catch made by
Coming from the right all the way over to the left. Easy throw that time for the first down.
Lewis again.
Today only 52 against Georgia.
Play action. Downfield launch. Jump ball. Caught. Touchdown. Brazel. Wow.
Didn't go up and time that well. Good job of really being in phase. He goes up with the right hand, but remember, Brazel is one of the best in the SEC at these one-on-one jump balls. What a great job of showing the ball skills there.
Likely to be the final play of the third quarter. Stockton fires. Catch made by Lawson Lucky. And the tight end out across the 40 for a first down. Picked up 16. On a hot day in Knoxville, it's going to be decided with stamina, guts in the fourth quarter. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC stations for the final quarter here on Rocky Top. Six apiece with a quarter to go. Off the left side, Phillips breaks free.
And then a big run there by Phillips.
And now Frazier.
Oh, but Frazier with the strength held on to it.
With tempo, Stockton from the pocket. Launches downfield. Catch is made. London Humphrey. Branch comes in motion, now reverses. Run all the way. Stockton. Second and goal. Ball wins. Play clock at 5. Stockton straight back, scans the end zone, makes a throw, no. So Woodring tries to go 3 for 3. And Georgia does reclaim the lead.
Able to play in this moment and lead this team on this drive right now.
Great perspective.
But yeah, he turned the wrong way, away from the back.
Aguilar slings it, and the catch is made. 6th catch, 177 total yards. Off the left side. Off and running. Star Thomas.
Get level, open that up, and how about the acceleration there by Thomas?
Aguilar looking to throw downfield, man, wide open. Caught for a touchdown by Staley.
Underneath, you just think it's a shallow cross. Working away underneath, he's just going to stop. Nope, he goes upfield. Heck of a job by Aguilar, giving him the time to be able to sell it and then get upfield, put it up in the air. No Georgia defender anywhere around.
Back to Bowen to the first down run. Tough enough in run support. 2nd and 12. Stockton runs out of the pocket and is going to be.
Again,
Pressure right in his face. You're right. The ball.
time sat in there, made the throw.
Looking to throw again on first down. That time pressure off the right's going to blow up.
Able to try to help the right side of this
63
offensive
offense,
line.
penalties declined. Second down.
It's a run to the left by Frazier. Stockton hit. Ball is loose. Still rolling around. Tennessee's got it.
Reeling out on an edge against the best pass rusher, 19, Josephs. Good job with the hands, and it closes with the speed and the presence of mind to knock that ball away right there with the right hand away from Gunnar Stockton. What a play by the Vols defense.
Flag before the snap.
Caught it. Pushed him back 5.
Quick hitter in.
Georgia defense that must answer.
Bishop. Bishop hit. sophomore from Memphis. Line drive kick, hammered right through. On the move, and chucks it incomplete down.
In orange.
Pass interference. Defense number 2.
That's what I would say. The ball. There's really no need for 2 to make this push. This ball's out of bounds. But what do you think about that ball not being in?
Ball at the 40 now. At the play fake, pressure, checks it down on the screen. Stockton has a clean pocket this time, delivers across the middle, and the catch is made by... Again, time to throw, but Stockton's going to run out anyway. He's across the line, can't throw at this. Bowens takes a turn to the backfield.
Lined up across from him to the outside.
They're showing pressure, but don't bring it. Ball is quickly to Bell on the perimeter, who cuts back inside, and Dylan Bell spun down.
Tennessee, Carter, he just misses an open field tackle.
Tempo for Georgia. Bowens on the check down. Not. 2nd and 6. Clock moving. Stockton. Long throw downfield. Incomplete.
A little stutter and go, but you got to give Colton Hood a lot of credit there. The football, but at least he made an effort to find the ball, gave him a chance to get hands out.
Young tried to sell the flag that time. In the recent history of this rivalry, they bring pressure. Stockton together, long throw to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Humphreys!
I'm here by London Humphreys to know exactly where he was. Catches the ball, gets his feet down easily in.
Threat here. Drops back, delivers, wide open, and Zach Branch converts. Play fake to Thomas, long throw to Staley on the edge, eager to get this drive started. Threaten Georgia. Across the middle, incomplete. And has had an execute in a play unlike he's ever faced in his career. Long throw on the money, caught by Staley. Is going. Play with a little tempo here. Star Thomas makes a cut. Thomas gets the edge and is dragged down.
A one-cut north and south guy, but we've seen him be able to separate in his own right with speed.
Lowers the field goal range. 1st down. Run it again to Thomas. Aguilar flushed and fires it into the bench. Quiet lately. Kitzelman, the tight end, off to the left. They're going to try to run for it. And they've got their right edge. And they've got a 1st down at the 35 with
back. It's hard to come up and help out and run support.
Bishop plows forward, get it. Quick throw, caught, Kitzelman, tight end. 3rd down and a long one. You can get the 1st down and basically run the clock down and set up for the field goal. Bishop picks his way, gets it closer to the center of the field. Bishop barrels for a couple more to the... And this is just complicated things. A false start. Drives it. It's fading. And he missed it wide to the right. And if Tennessee is going to break this streak today, it's going to take overtime to do it. Play fake.
This game, unable to bring that one down.
There's a 2nd down run off the left side by Bish. Pressure comes late. Aguilar flips it incomplete. There was no one there. His technique this time to give Tennessee the lead. This one is driven straight through. Frazier's the back. He's got it. Can he get the edge? Cuts inside. Nate Frazier down the sideline. Grabbed out of bounds inside the 5.
With a heavy look, 3 tight ends. How about 56 out in front? Micah Morris, great job of pulling around. I thought with that acceleration, he might be able to get all the way to the end zone, but good job of hustling here by Turrentine to be able to keep him short. But what a first play by the Georgia Bulldog.
Big Josh McCray is the back. McCray hammers. Ball
Option.
McCray driving, reaching for the end zone. Well, this is going to be some delayed pain for 109,000.
Yeah, but everybody at
Stadium
home
Orange.
sees what we see.
Yeah,
See that
no.
left knee, never touched. Came close.
Oh,
And then the ball breaks the plane.
right
Yeah,
there.
right there.
Yep. Wood methodically in this situation. One more look.
Yeah, the
After
knee.
further review, it is a touchdown.
Yeah.
Game is over.
And the Dogs do it again.
This is amazing.
Thank you so much.
4th and 6 touchdown pass. Probably didn't happen without that play. 5 lean changes in the second half. Dogs prevail on Rocky Top. They got Bama after a bye. We send it to the studio. And Kevin Negandhi.